When I was 8, a horrific man-eating demon came to our village. It began when the neighboring village fell into a sudden, eerie silence. No one had gone to the market for a long time. My father, the village chief, led a group of young men to investigate. They were horrified to find all 317 residents had been devoured, leaving behind bite marks that looked disturbingly human. While the village rushed to build high walls, I overheard two anonymous voices whispering in our courtyard. The voices whispered that walls were useless because the demon understood human nature and possessed a keen sense of smell. The only way to escape was to hang a piece of pork at the foot of the bed to trick it into thinking the house held only dead meat, while remaining absolutely silent. Despite skepticism, my father slaughtered our only pig to share the meat. That night, a shadow as tall as a rooftop with glowing red eyes entered. Thanks to the bleeding pork, it grumbled and left. The next morning, the mysterious voices warned that the pork trick would no longer work as the demon now craved fresh prey. They instructed us to suck on a sugar cube and cover ourselves in white flour to mimic tasteless dough figures. Villagers began to suspect demon bones, souls of the eaten leading the monster, and even doubted my father. On the third night, the demon growled in frustration at the stiff flour lumps. By the fourth day, the villagers' patience reached its limit. While hiding behind hay, I discovered the two voices belonged to two white ducks, one fat, one thin. They begged me not to reveal their secret. However, a man named Haingu insulted my father, claiming he was wicked. The defiant villagers locked their doors early in protest. That night, the demon attacked Haingu's house and to others, killing 11 people. The sound of rhythmic chewing echoed through the dark. On the fifth morning, the terrified survivors begged my father for help. I ran to the duck pen only to find it empty. Save for white feathers and a scrap of Haingu's clothing, he had butchered them for food. We turned to a ruined shrine where the earth god revealed the ducks were divine acolytes who had now fled to heaven. The god demanded a final sacrifice, livestock and a young child. My father bravely refused, declaring that if we sacrificed our children to save ourselves, we were no better than beasts. We chose to stand together instead. That night, a golden sparrow, a minor deity, transformed into a sword and struck the demon's forehead. In its agony, the monster dragged the fleeing Haingu into the forest. The sparrow told us to hide money under our pillows and ignore any voices. The demon tried to sow discord by claiming there was a traitor among us, but my mother courageously shouted back, affirming our unity. At dawn, the demon vanished forever, defeated not by walls, but by the strength of the human spirit. Most people stopped listening to my father. He stood silently before the crowd, saying nothing more. Haingu added fuel to the fire. Chief, since you took office, our village hasn't prospered. Only the wicked are deluded by so-called ghost bones. Don't say one thing and think another. My father sighed. I don't want to harm anyone. I understand you're tired. If you don't believe me, then don't do it. Your lives are now in your own hands. The grumbling crowd followed Haingu away. At sunset, only our family and a few others cleared out old belongings as instructed. Others locked their windows and turned off lights early to show their resentment toward my father's blind leadership. At midnight, the man-eating demon appeared. It didn't scout house by house anymore, but headed straight for the East Hyengu's home. We heard a brief, horrific scream, followed by the chilling sounds of devouring. The demon passed our house, laughing. An appetizer first. I'll eat the rest when I return, at dawn. Survivors opened their doors trembling. Hyengu's parents and two neighbors had vanished, leaving only black blood stains. Everyone rushed to our house, terrified. Save us, Chief. We were wrong. We'll do whatever you say. I ran to the duck pen to find our protectors, but it was empty. Only white feathers and a scrap of Hyengu's jacket remained on the fence. Hyengu arrived, chewing duck meat, and mocked. I did a good deed. I caught those two ghost bones and stewed them. I screamed, "You ate them. They weren't ghosts. They were going to tell us how to survive the final day." Deeply saddened, the elders suggested praying at the Earth God Temple. There, the statue glowed and spoke, "The demon is born from human malice. Heaven sent two disciples in duck form to guide you, but their spirits have now returned to heaven. I do not know the final way," the Earth God said. Hyengu fainted in fear. My father knelt until he bled, begging for a path. Finally, the god instructed, "Prepare livestock, wealth, and a young child for sacrifice." The crowd panicked, hiding their children. Hyengu pointed at me. "She's the chief's daughter. He should protect us by giving her up." My father roared, "No. If we sacrifice our children today, we are no better than beasts, even if we survive." That night, as the giant shadow approached, a glowing sparrow landed. It was a minor deity. The bird asked, "The offerings are insufficient. Why not push the child forward?" My father stood firm. "Not a single hair on their heads shall be touched." The bird chirped, moved by their humanity, "You have conquered fear and selfishness. You shall live." Suddenly, Hyengu pushed me toward the bird to save himself. But the bird ignored him and transformed into a golden sword. The sword struck the demon's forehead. Screaming in pain, the demon retreated, accidentally grabbing the fleeing Hyengu and dragging him into the forest. The sparrow said, "Give this money to the children. Place it under their pillows and lock the doors. Believe nothing you hear tonight." Later, the demon pounded on our door, shouting, "There's a traitor among you." The ghost bones told me. My mother shouted back, "Vile spirit, your lies won't divide us." We held onto our faith. By morning, the demon was gone, leaving only claw marks on the walls. Everyone survived. Years later, I returned home and heard familiar whispers from the void. The man-eating demon is born from malice. It cannot die, but when mortals defeat it, it can no longer be called a demon. So, what should it be called? The question remains, a reminder of the thin line between good and evil residing within every human heart.